Hey guys, this is Rise from SC2GD.com, and I am back with another commentary of the week. This time I have Knight of Knee from SC2GG.com. You may have heard of him before. He was on one earlier, or another dual commentary. I can't remember if it was a commentary of the week or not, but either way, he has done a dual commentary with me before, and so you guys might have already heard of him. This commentary of the week is going to be Bisu versus Flash. We got two humongous names. Two of some of the best players that we have in the world, potentially two of the best of their respective races, actually, depending on who you think is the best Protoss, of course. Flash, I'd say, is undeniably the best Terran player right now, so we're definitely due for a good game. Flash, of course, very good against Terran. He's about 65% almost win rate against Terran. I'm sorry, against Protoss, and Bisu is almost 60% against Protoss. Wow, I messed it up twice. Against Terran. So anyway, should be a great match. They're playing on Medusa, and Medusa is about a 2-to-1 favorite for Protoss in Protoss versus Terran matches. So maybe Bisu has a little bit of an advantage here, but we'll have to wait and watch and find out. Knight, what do you think we're going to see here? You got one player favored over the other, or are we going to see a good game?
Well, first of all, I think this ought to be a really good game. I mean, these two players have just been playing really well recently. These two players met in the GOM Season 2 round of 8, and the set was absolutely epic. And I believe they played on this exact map, and Flash came out the victor. And the thing about this map is, and really about Flash himself, is that he wins on maps that seem unwinnable for Terran. He won on Katrina. He wins routinely on Medusa. I think he has 3/4 of the wins for Terran against Protoss on this map. And he just finds a way to get it done. He has some of the best soft pushes in the game, and I really think he'll take this game, even though Bisu's just been so hot recently. I have to give the edge to Flash just because of his success on these maps.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's got to be mentioned that in any map where a player or a race is down 2-to-1, well, you know what? Someone from their race is winning that one. So if they showed it before, it was 17-7. Protoss versus Terran wins. 7 of the wins were Terran, which means that Flash could definitely win those games, so that is a good point. We'll have to see what he's able to do here. Quick shout out, by the way, to those of you who do go visit SC2GG.com. We are starting the Commentator Idol, and that is going to be a little bit of a contest like American Idol, a little bit of a spin-off for StarCraft commentators, where we're going to do some definite bashing on some of the players, and also some praise. We'll have Simon, which would be me. So all you guys who want to hear the bashing, I'll be doing it. We'll have Paula, which will be Peanut, and then we'll have Randy, which to start off is going to be Cholera, and then we'll have another more permanent judge later. So definitely make sure that you keep an eye out for that. You'll be seeing some good games. You got to keep checking out SC2G.com to find out when they're playing. And all right, let's go back to the match. So anyway, the build orders seem to be pretty standard so far, unless I missed anything big. What do you think, Knight? Are we going to see standard play here, or are we going to see some crazy builds from both the players?
Yeah, between players of this caliber, the two S-class players, you almost never see cheese in a Pro League set, because they know that they'll win most of the time by playing standard. And I mean, against one another, I mean, this is no different. The thing, when you do see cheese from somebody like Flash, and you can see Flash's innovative side, is in like best of fives and stuff. And we saw that when Flash played against Bisu in a couple OSL seasons ago. He like made headlines, and it was his first big coming out when he beat Bisu, and everybody was like, "Who is this kid?" Anyway, it does look like you missed a little bit of something, Rise. Bisu went for a 12 nex in his main, so at the mineral only in the back of his main. So a little bit of a thing going on for Bisu, but a pretty standard play for Flash so far.
Very cool. That I think that's going to help him, and you know, having that base inside of your base is always helpful. Makes it very easy to defend. It's impossible for a Terran to show that unless he can break up your ramp, which of course is possible. But he'll have to wait until he gets siege tanks out to do that. And Bisu, of course, will be prepared for that. He is upgrading range right now, so it looks like we are going to see some goons popping out early on, which again is pretty standard. Although the 12 or 14 next, whatever he did go, isn't necessarily as standard, but I think it's definitely a valid play on this map because this plays right into it. So Bisu probably, because he's got the mineral only, is going to lay off the super heavy gas builds. And it looks like Bisu is actually scouting around. I wonder if he's going to do some sort of proxy, unless he hasn't really scouted Night yet, which Night Flash yet.
I didn't know I was playing.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you, if, did he scout him yet?
I wasn't really paying attention to this scout, but I actually don't think he ever scouted. I think his probe got to the front door and was chased away by the Marine. So, I think by that judgment he didn't actually scout. And oddly enough, Flash still has his SCV at full health in Bisu's base with Dragoons running around. So, some interesting SCV micro there.
Yeah, what he did was he hit it in the top area of the base while Bisu didn't have any men. So it looked like he left the building, but he came back in very shortly after. He went around the revolving door and got some later scouting in, which is always useful. And Bisu getting down a robotics facility, that was not scouted by Flash, I don't think anyway. And Flash is not going to know what exactly is coming next for Bisu. So Bisu okay, even though it was a pretty late scout. It looks like Flash is ready to get that expansion up and running, and setting his SCVs over there, lifting the barracks just in time as they started to get stuck around it. And he's going for an armory, so it looks like he may be prepared for shuttles early on, as he tends to like to make Goliaths. And Bisu not able to get a scout in with that probe, almost getting there, but he is going to know that there is an expansion going up, so he is going to start putting the pressure on, I would imagine. And now that he's got those two bases up, he's going to be in a pretty good position to do so. Also, Flash looking to re-wall a little bit to stop that from happening, so it looks like Bisu going to not be able to do too much quite yet until that shuttle comes out. And I would imagine Bisu is already considering getting a second expansion up now that he's got a pretty good feeling for what Flash is going, I would imagine, based off of the fact that he did go an expansion. So Bisu looks like he's dancing around some goons in the middle of the map, waiting to put some pressure on. He's got a couple of goons waiting out in the back of his base too. I'm wondering what he's planning on using them for. It's a little early, taking out a scout and Marine, and until then we're kind of just waiting for these two players to build up. It looks like we are in store for a macro intensive game, and Flash building his second expansion, so Bisu gonna have to keep up and or well, more truthfully, stay ahead of Flash in expansions, because Flash is no slouch when it comes to micro. So we'll have to see how Bisu handles that.
Yeah, so it looks like both players are really looking to settle into a heavy macro game. Bisu's starting to get his first expansion, but Bisu's actually doing an elevator. He's elevating his Dragoons onto the high ground, and although it was immediately scouted by Flash, this will do some damage, and it will cause Flash to be distracted and divert his forces away from his front door. I don't think it'll cause that many issues for him, because siege tanks are just outrange Dragoons 2-to-1. But I think, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how this works out. And 2 shuttles out for Bisu, so he's definitely going to be trying to put on some heavy shuttle pressure here from. And man, this is something I haven't seen in a while. He's also pushing in on the front door here, zealot bombing with his one remaining shuttle. So this is looking pretty bad for Flash right here. This a very clever play from Bisu.
Yeah, I think this is great. I haven't seen something like this in a long time, actually. He's doing a pretty good job with those shuttles, although he did lose one early on while losing the other real quickly. So it was kind of effective, but at this point he hasn't done all that much damage. It looks like he took out a turret, maybe a tank or two. He's losing a lot of his zealots, getting microed around by Flash. He's taken out quite a few SCVs, trying to take down that supply depot. He is unable to. Of course, like you mentioned, they are siege upgraded siege tanks, so this is going to be very difficult for Bisu to continue to put this push on at this moment in time. So although it definitely disrupted Flash a little bit, unfortunately for Bisu, it did not do enough damage, I don't think. And look at Bisu though, doing exactly what you're supposed to do during an attack, expanding. So now, not only expanding once, double expanding. So Bisu knows exactly what's going on in Flash's base. He saw that the second expansion was going to go up. He sees it again right there with the command center over there, and he gets a nexus, a second or third nexus of his own. Well, technically it's a fourth nexus, third base. No, fourth base, third expansion. Sorry about that. So anyway, it looks like Flash is going to clean up the rest of this attack. Just a single Dragoon left over there, and he's going to stop that from doing any more damage. But look at how little SCVs he's got at that natural base. It looks like Bisu did manage to take out quite a few SCVs there, which is big. If he's going to get ahead in this match and stay ahead in this match, he's got to do exactly that. Economic harassment is the name of the game early on, and Bisu doing a great job of that so far. Now that he's getting that Templar Archives, it looks like he's going to go further into the tech tree and probably eventually do some more storm drops to continue to do that. Looks like another shuttle is out, unless that's the same damage shuttle. If they click on it, I'll be able to tell you, but until they do, I'm not so sure. It looks like more Zellbombs. No, it's the same damage shuttle, so he's going to try to do as much damage as he can. Again, almost taking out that supply depot. The supply depot goes down. He's going to be able to get to the base, and Flash has only got his tanks way back in his main base, and Bisu going to continue to take out SCVs until the tanks take out the Zells. It looks like they have done that at this point, and so Bisu once again going to be forced back, but once again disrupting Flash's mining, production, and overall gameplay. So nicely done by Bisu.
Wow, this is definitely an action-filled game already. Flash just trying to defend so hard right now. I mean, that's the name of the game for Terran early game. You're just sitting here waiting and waiting till you can make your mid-game push. And especially on a map like this where you have to make a soft push, it's just so difficult to hold off without a ramp too. And right now, Bisu definitely looks like he has a slight advantage right now. He has four fully functional bases right now, whereas Flash has 3, but Flash has lost so many SCVs trying to repair that wall that in that last attack, it was just devastating to lose that many SCVs. But in the meantime, Flash looks like he's going to expand again. So Flash making like a Protoss at this point and expanding and trying to stay even in expansions with Bisu. And he finally, actually, Flash has not made any Vultures up to this point in the game. He doesn't even have speed upgraded on his Vultures. So, kind of interesting. So he now looks like Flash is going to go out and try and do some economic pressure. In the meantime, Arbiters are about to start coming out for Bisu. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of Arbiter play we'll see from Bisu, or how good his Arbiter play is.
Yeah, I know that Bisu can do a pretty good job with his Arbiters. We'll have to see if he does recall or stasis or what he decides to do with them. He's got a nice little pylon block going around that natural expansion, so it looks like he's going to be able to stay away from that. Bisu, in the meantime, puts a pylon down with that probe that he's about to lose. So now he's going to have to send out an entirely new probe to build a nexus there, although that also could have been a distraction while he gets that fourth base fully up and running with some cannons, which could be a good idea. And he's also got a lot of gateways, so we're going to see a large army production capability coming from Bisu. And surely that's exactly what he needs to do against a player like Flash. Flash already with science vessels of his own and Goliaths to deal with these Arbiters that are surely coming out in the very near future. So it looks like Flash is already prepared, and we're going to see how his EMP skills hold up against Bisu's stasis and recall skills, because, I mean, in the end, that's what this game is going to come down to as we get into the later tech part of the game. Obviously, we've watched a lot of games in the past where Science Vessels EMP has played a large role against Arbiters. Most notably, the first one that comes to mind is Fantasy doing some crazy EMPs against, I can't remember if it was Bisu or Stork or whoever it was, but it was or Jangbi. I think it was Jangbi, actually. And Jangbi with, like, 4 or 5 Arbiters always getting EMP'd by, like, the 3 or 4 science vessels that Fantasy had, and Fantasy just completely destroying him. I mean, Jangbi went to the point where he started hallucinating extra Arbiters, and even then, he EMP'd the hallucinated Arbiters, which just destroyed him instantly, so it was pretty entertaining to watch. Now it looks like Flash is trying to do his patented Vulture harassment around the map, as well as getting a new base up and running, but Bisu has that scouted, as well as the fact that Flash has Bisu's new expansion scouted. So Bisu going to have a tough time getting his up, and he also may have a tough time taking out Flash's, because Flash seems to have that pretty well defended with a lot of spider mines and a large tank force. And at that point, it's going to make it very difficult. There is the Arbiter catching a bunch of vultures out in the field, but obviously, with Scan, that's not going to be too big of a deal. A lot of Zealots, man. Bisu is very Zealot heavy right now. It looks like he's going to use that to be taking care of the tanks. And, oh, some Spider Mines doing some damage to those Zealots. So Bisu's going to have to be pretty careful with that. Using them, doing a Mind Drag, taking out the rest of the Vultures. Very well done there. And looks like Bisu's going to stop the harassment now. For now, and I think he's going to start getting ready to go on the offensive, although right now he is definitely on the defensive. We'll have to see if he decides to make use of those Arbiters in the very near future, and it looks like he is going to try to push into the left base of Flash, and Flash, I don't know if he's got a good shelling range. It looks like he does, so Bisu actually going in and attacking, and Flash completely prepared. Stasis going down on the Science Vessel. That's going to hurt. Nice Mind Drag and Zealot drops. Zealot bombs, and wow, Bisu doing a great job of exterminating this force of Flash. More Mind Drags in the right side of the screen, and man, Bisu going to take this out completely, forcing Flash back into his base. This is also going to give Bisu the opportunity to take out the 9 o'clock position, and man, Flash going to be hurt here. You do not want to lose an entire Terran metal army to an entire Protoss force. Even if they both wipe each other out, the Protoss player is going to be ahead, and he is going to eventually be able to take Flash out if he continues to do stuff like that.
Wow. Wow, that's all I could say about that attack. Bisu just completely owned Flash's force, and it wasn't like, oh my god, he had so much stasis. No, he used his stasis on a single science vessel, but it did force, but there was just, the Mind Drags were just so epic. I mean, there you saw routinely 5 or 6 Terran mech units just blowing up, and it just made me like cringe when I saw all the exploding mech units. But Bisu definitely taking a big advantage here. He's getting his 5th base up online, and because it's the main of the 3 o'clock position, he'll also be getting his 6th base up fairly shortly at that natural. So he had so many gateways up. But yeah, Bisu just taking a big advantage here. It just has so many gateways. He just pump out so many units so quickly that it's just going to be so hard for Flash to keep up, especially after losing his first attack force. I'm just not sure what he can do. I mean, he does have the upgrade advantage. That's the thing. I think he's got 2-2 now, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But it seems like he has 2-2, and he had really quick upgrades. So he probably does have. Well, I know he's got an upgrade advantage. It's just whether that's going to be enough. Ooh. And it looks like Bisu going in for another push on the attack force, or on the force of Flash. Flash getting his 2. Oh my god, he's got 2 science vessels that are stasis, and he's just getting rolled over again. Oh my god, this is terrible for Flash. This is just completely ownage right now, and he does have another science vessel out, but he just doesn't have enough units, and he loses all of his tanks again, and this is just not looking good for Flash. He's getting repeatedly losing his entire army.
Yeah, now that there are Templar out for Bisu, Bisu is going to be extremely effective with all of his magic units. He obviously is a very good player with very good control. And, oh no, he's going to make Flash stop mining from the 9 o'clock position, and he may even take out the command center if he focuses on it. It looks like he's not. It looks like he's got better things to do, macroing back at home. But, oh no, he is going to focus on it now, and he might be able to take that out. It looks like he's going to try to, and I don't know if he'll be able to. Ooh, but look at Flash. Flash stops moving it, and it looks like he is going to manage to take it out. DT's out now at the 3 o'clock base for Bisu, so it looks like he's going to start doing some DT work here. He's going to be able to defend this without much problem, but Scan going down, so Flash way on top of this, and Bisu going to take out a lot of the Vultures with just the DTs, even though he lost all of them, and it looks like that Burning Command Center is going to make it, and now look at Bisu. Oh, perfect position there, able to use the cannons and stay on the ramp. Look at all those Zealots. Oh my god, it's almost like a Zealot heart, a giant Zealot heart that he's going to use to break Flash's heart. And it looks like Bisu is completely going to be prepared for any more Vulture harassment at his bases, considering he's got cannons all around those nexuses. And you're right, I think he should be putting up another a 6th base fairly soon, considering he's got that all taken care of. Looks like I got a phone call, so Knight, why don't you take back over?
Yeah, wow, that's a lot of freaking gateways. I think I counted 16 or something gateways. So apparently Bisu's going to be going Sauron Protoss here. It's just, wow, just so many units going to be coming out so quickly for Bisu. And since Flash has lost his first 2 units, it doesn't matter how perfect the Terran macro is. They just won't, it's just so difficult to recover from losing your army once, let alone trading armies twice. I mean, it's just right now it doesn't look good for Flash. Flash definitely playing well, considering this position that he is in. He snipes an observer there, and it looks like he's going to try and pick off that Nexus going up at that base. But Flash, in the meantime, is going to lose that command center. Flash loses the command center. Oh, man. And that's just a dagger in his heart right there. That was probably his last chance back into the game. If he could have gotten that base at the 9 o'clock position online obviously without losing that command center, he might have had a chance in this game. He might have been able to come back. But, I mean, the odds of that were slim to begin with. But without it, there's no chance. I think that Flash's main is mined out, and who knows how many minerals he has in his other 2 expansions. And in the meantime, Bisu is getting that natural at the 3 o'clock position up. So it just doesn't look good for Flash right now. And it looks like Bisu may be going in for a recall.
All right.
Well, then again, maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. What do you think, Rice?
I hope so. It makes it exciting, that's for sure. Oh, EMP goes off on the Arbiter, so that's not going to happen. Failed Arbiter recall by Bisu, but 6 base versus 3 base, PVT. Who do you think's going to win? I'll be honest, I don't think it matters. Looks like Bisu's got yet another one, and he's going to try the same exact thing again. But once again, that Science Hustle in place. Oh my god, look at all those spider mites. He knows that's there, though. He's got an observer right there, so Bisu clearly not going to go for that. Well, maybe. I don't know. I would think he's not. Flash, of course, so look at that. He's got a very well-defended perimeter of his base, and Bisu going to have a tough time. I wonder if he'll start going for some sort of tech switch here, although he'll have to be careful. It looks like he is, in the meantime, just floating around, seeing what's going on with that Arbiter. A nice little mind drag there, taking out a couple of Vultures. He's got to be careful with that Arbiter, though, because EMP will make that completely useless. And Arbiter versus 2 Goliaths. I wonder who'll win there. It looks like the Goliaths do win as expected. And Flash now going up the ramp and doing some nice damage to Bisu's one of Bisu's bases, the mining over there. So Flash gonna do a pretty good job, at least doing some disruption. Although I gotta say, I think it's a little too late, because really, Flash, like you were saying, was only mining off of 1 base, I think. I think he is mined out at his natural, and probably close to being mined out at his natural expansion, so he's going to be in trouble if he can't fully keep that new expansion up and running and secure even more expansion. So it looks like Bisu, while transferring probes, wow, look at that. He is transferring with care. That is a completely escorted probe line. Mine going off, though, taking out a few probes. Not going to hurt too bad. And Flash going to take out as many as he can. But it looks like it's not going to be enough. Those vultures are going to go down. And Bisu with like 1,000 gateways, I mean, he can produce this entire army in about, I don't know, 30 seconds flat if he loses his entire army over and over and over and over. He's got 2 Stargates pumping Arbiters, so really I think we're about to see some Zerg action from Bisu. That's right, Bisu's going to play some Zerg and just continue to just throw units at Flash until he's got no more. And Flash with some EMPs, but the side shell's getting caught. Storm going off. Storm all over those clubs to tanks. Flash very careless. We got some jangy panty wetting Storm going on over here. He's going to take out almost all those tanks. The defense matrix is not going to help. He's going to do enough damage. He's going to back off. He's going to repair his entire army in a matter of 30 seconds, like we said. But in the meantime, Flash looks like he's going to start pushing out and see if he can do some damage to Bisu. But it looks like it's going to be a slow push, so Bisu going to have plenty of time to rebuild that entire army. And look at all those zealots already. I think Bisu, it looks like he is maybe in a little bit of trouble as they zoom into his face. But I got to say, he looks cool, calm, and collected. And I think he's going to be able to produce enough units units here to deal with this, although Flash is making that scary metal push late game, and so Bisu going to have to be very careful. Flash looks to be speeding up that push as well, but there is the mass production of units from Bisu with a natural flank, having his 3 o'clock expansion producing units with a lot of gateways there as well, and I think both armors got caught in that, and looks like they're just going to A-move right through there with a ton of zealots, and this is going to clean up that attack force because it is very tank heavy with very few vultures, and Bisu is going to take this out, and that is going to be it for Flash, I think. I don't think he's going to be able to rebuild that army and with any hope of defeating Bisu.
You see the Flash just going
Twitch.
like, gah! Oh man, the cyborg twitch. Yeah. Wow. Those were some pretty freaking epic storms right there. Oh man. Panty wedding storms. Wow, that's classic. Anyway, yeah, it looks like Flash running in with a few vultures to try and pick off a Nexus or something. I'm not really sure what he'll be able to do here, but yeah, it's just wow. Bisu actually didn't do a whole lot of damage with his first push, just his second wave of units, and a nice stasis there, but his second wave of units just came in and just absolutely cleaned up Flash's force. He has just so many freaking gateways, it's just ridiculous. I think he has about 25 or 30 gateways at this point, and I mean, when you have that many gateways as a Protoss player, there's really nothing, your unit values are pretty much worthless. It doesn't matter if you lose 10, 15 Dragoons, because they'll be right back up and running about 25 seconds. So, and the same thing with probes. It doesn't really even matter how many probes he loses. He's using storms on mines. Wow. It doesn't even matter how many probes you lose, because you have 18 Nexuses making probes. So, I mean, what's the difference? But yeah, it looks like Flash trying to mine, long-distance mine. Oh, he has his command center floating over, but he does have his command center coming over towards the base at, I guess that's the 5 o'clock position, but I don't think he's going to be able to hold it off. And when oh my god, a lot of High Templar. When Bisu takes out this base, I don't think there's going to be much that Flash can do, and he will have to GG once and for all. A nice stasis there to take out a bunch of those Goliaths, and this looks to be the final push. What do you think?
I think this is going to be the final push. My freaking phone keeps ringing and I can't seem to shut it off. Sorry about that. It looks like Bisu is reincarnating the same exact Dragoons over and over and over, considering he's producing them so damn fast. So at this point, I don't think Flash can do anything about it. And GG's. That's going to be it. Flash with the cyborg twitch showing that he is going to lose the game, does lose the game. Bisu winning it, beating him out on a Protoss favored map. So Flash not playing poorly by any means, but Flash looking very upset about it. Bisu very excited, obviously. High fives all around, and some intensity behind those high fives. So nicely done. Silver Crown with a bunch of stars. He's won a lot of games this season. He's going to continue to do so, I think. And certainly we'll be seeing more of both these players in the future. Knight, just want to say thanks for coming along and joining me for the commentary of the week. Got any last comments?
Nope. It's been a lot of fun doing this, and it's just a great game. Man, Bisu is excited after that. Just huge high fives to everybody, especially Boxer. He gave Boxer the biggest one at the end. So looking to see more of these two players. I think they're meeting again sometime soon in one of the individual leagues, or that's the potential is there or something. I'm not sure. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun doing this with you. Thanks for having me, Rice.
Cool. See you guys in the next COTW. GG.